Sweet Tooth family, welcome if you're new here. I'm Tia and this is Tia Sweet Tooth. Now let's get into today's video. Today we're going to talk about how I turned my baking into a business. Alright, so let's get into this video, and I thought it was only right to start talking about this now just because this is a free week for me. I don't have any cake orders, so I get to just sit here and FaceTime with you guys, and you guys get to know a little bit about me. So I have this notepad right here with some questions, so I will stay on topic and we won't be here all day. So let's get into the first question. And the first question is, how did I get started? So the love of baking started when I was a kid. My grandmother, her name is Veronica, and she's still here. We grew up in a not so affordable neighborhood, so my grandmother baked goods and cooked food, and she used to sell it outside of her apartment. And sometimes when I would go over her house, I would help her. She is known as, or in her younger years, she was known as the cookie lady. So she always baked cookies, cakes, and pies, and she would sell them outside of her apartment. And I took a liking to it once. I was 7 years old, and she baked me this cake with this candy on it. It had like Now Laters, Skittles, Starburst, all the candies in the 90s. She put it on the outside of this cake. So I loved it. And my brothers in the middle of the night used to sneak in the fridge and take a piece of candy off the cake. But anywho, I loved it. I love the joy that brung, giving people baked goods. So I would go over to my grandmother's house. I would help her make cookies, and I would even help her sell them. So that's where it started when I was a little kid. And then when I went to high school, I went to a trade high school, and baking was my trade. And then I loved it so much, I ended up going to college for it. I went to Culinary Arts School, Baltimore International College, for those who are familiar. They no longer exist now, but back in 2005, I went to Baltimore International College, where I got my associates in baking and cake decorating. So that's how it started. It started as a kid loving what her grandmother did and seeing the joy on people's faces when they received cookies, cakes, and pies. So that's how I got started. Okay, the next question is, the first time you, the next question is, building Tia Sweet Tooth. So let me start over. The next question is, or the next topic is building Tia Sweet Tooth. So we're going to talk about the building of Tia Sweet Tooth. How did it get started? So Tia Sweet Tooth, when I was in the 10th grade, and when I was in baking, we didn't start baking until 10th grade. So when I met my baking teacher and things like that, she would have us do baking quizzes, and then on Mondays, and then on Tuesdays we would bake donuts and things like that. And I really enjoyed this. So when I was a kid, well, a teenager, I was like, I'm going to have a bakery, and I'm going to name my bakery Shatia's Sweet Tooth, because that's my actual name, Shatia. So I decided later on in life that I don't want Shatia to be out there. I prefer to be called Tia, and that's what everybody know me as. So I switched it from Shatia to Tia Sweet Tooth. So that's where the name came from. How you made your first menu. How did you make your first menu? So by me being a custom cake decorator or a custom cake company, my menu is based off of what I think people like. You always know people like vanilla cake, People like chocolate cake, people like strawberry cake and things like that. So my menu based off of that. And then I started experimenting with like cookies and cream and Biscoff, you know, those popular trendy flavors. And I have my mind on some other flavors that I'm soon to experiment on. I know during school time, I always have like a peanut butter and jelly cupcake for back to school. So that's something like I experimented with. But my menu is based off of what I think people like. And to be honest, they love it. Oh, and a popular flavor, I know I like the strawberry shortcake ice cream. So I decided to start making a cake just like the ice cream, and it's a hit, y'all. People love it. But yeah, that's how I started my menu. Just thinking about my customer and thinking about what would a child like. Like I know children like sprinkles, so funfetti is a flavor that I have for kids. Or, you know, adults like vanilla cake, chocolate cake. I even do a marble cake. So I just think about what my customers may like. So that's how I created my menu. Now for my cake jars, that's a little different. I was creative with that. When I decided to make my cake jars, I wanted layers to it. I wanted it to have some type of like crunch element to it. So just like my coffee mudslide, it has a crunch layer into it. So you get some cake, you get some icing, you get a little crunch, and I think it's just perfect. So I always try to think of what I think my customers may like. The next one is challenges you faced in the beginning. Child, I've been in business since 2019 and it's still the beginning. It is still the beginning. I'm still in the beginning processes. I'm still learning as I go. And sometimes I don't like to tell people that I went to culinary art school or, you know, I took baking in high school, because then they hold me at this high standard, and everybody has their own level of expertise, their own skill set. So I try not to boast that, because I feel like people have a higher expectation than what I may be able to deliver. So I just tell people I'm a cake artist. But some challenges I face is marketing. That's a big challenge I face. I just started this year, like recording more, showing you guys my work. Hey, I started a YouTube channel back in April. So that tells you how my marketing has been going. So that's a struggle of mine. Trying to figure out how to create videos that you guys enjoy and make you want to call Tia Sweet Tooth for a custom cake. So that's a little bit challenging for me. Another challenge for me is funding. Although last year I did receive a business grant for $25,000. Got to pat myself on the back with that one. That was the first grant I applied for, and I won. I received funding. Although I received that, my business mentor told me that that wasn't enough money to open up a store. So funding is a challenge for me. I'm still trying to figure out how to gain resources to have a storefront. So that's a challenge for me. And with the climate now, I know a lot of companies are not giving out a lot of money. So we're struggling a little bit financially, but thank God I have a full-time job, because if we were just waiting on my funds for Tia Sweet Tooth, it'd be a while, because I'm still building. Like I said, I'm still at the beginning stages. Another challenge that I have is like consistency as far as the customer. I still haven't figured out, like, how do these people get all these customers every week? So I'm still trying to figure that out. And I have to understand that a lot of people don't know who Tia is. So you got to do that marketing thing, right? You got to keep pushing yourself out there. You got to keep recording. You got to keep doing all the things so people can know who you are. So I'm getting better and better with that. I wish I had a professional marketer. I wish I could afford that, because I'm pretty sure with their skill, I probably could go a lot further. So those are some challenges that I face. Let me see if I can think of another one. What challenges do I have? I mean, being in the custom cake business, you'll always have challenges because there's a lot of cake decorators out here. So even though I still believe that there's enough for all of us, like all of us can do it and make good money, it's hard trying to I guess what I'm trying to say is it's hard to like find your group of people. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to find your customer who want your product, or what makes you different than the next person. So that's kind of hard. I'm still trying to figure that out, especially with my skill set. So that's a challenge that I face. But other than that, if I could have cake, and you know what? Let me stress this. In business period, you'll have your good times and you'll have your bad times. And some months I could have 8 cakes. And then some months like July, I have 0 cake orders. But next month I'm starting to get cake orders again. And I do have a wedding in September. So it's up and down. I'm still trying to find that medium where things are happening consistently, because I don't think I'm ready for the storefront yet, because I'm basing it off of what I see now. Which I know if you build them, they'll come. Like, they'll come. But I need some consistency with my customer flow. Yeah, so that's a challenge as well. Okay, the next question. Oh, the next question is the book side of business. So now we're getting into some branches of Tia Sweet Tooth. So Tia Sweet Tooth is a custom cake company. I also do cake jars. So now we're going into the book side of Tia Sweet Tooth. So the first question is, why did you write Cookies at Grandma's House? So if I can be honest with you guys, I did not want to write a children's book. Like, I did not. My sister and my husband was like, you should do a kid's book. You should do a kid's book. And I was like, I really don't want to do a kid's book. But then I thought about it, and I started thinking about my brand. And my brand is all about making sweet memories. And then I thought about that sweet memory, and it took me back to when I was a kid and my grandmother influenced me to bake. So I was like, oh, Cookies at Grandma's House. It reminds me of my grandmother. So that helped me to say, you know what? I should write a book for kids who could have that same experience I had as a kid. And it just went off. Like, my mind just started going back to being a kid, and I want to go to Grandma's house because I wanted sugar cookies. Like, my favorite cookie from my grandmother is sugar cookies. I like the little burnt thin sugar cookie, because to me that's the sweetest one. But I thought that was so sweet. And when kids are learning how to bake, I believe cookies are an easy baked good to make. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe I should do Cookies at Grandma's House. And the thing about the character Mia, this just doesn't stop here. I have a series, which the next book, I'm not going to say the names of them, because although I have written them out, I have not published them yet because it costs money. But just know it's a series, because I want you guys to go through the stage of Mia's life. And hint, hint, Mia is kind of Tia in a way, and she's living, like, I'm reliving through the character. So I love it so much. So that's why I decided to do Cookies at Grandma's House, because it reminded me about my grandmother and how I was excited to go to Grandma's house, because I knew it was going to be some cookies there. So that's how I got started with that. Okay, the next question is um why did you write Tia Sweet Tooth Making Sweet Memories? So y'all, Tia Sweet Tooth, to be honest, I did not think that I would be an author. Like, being an author was not something, and Tia Sweet Tooth Making Sweet Memories I published before Cookies at Grandma's House. But I never thought that I would be an author, right? I never thought that. When I went to college to pursue my bachelor's and then master's, but back in 2000, I think it was 18, I think that's when it was, yeah, because I was getting my bachelor's during that time. I had this finance professor who told us in class, and I never forgot it, but he said, you know how you can pay your student loans off quick? He said you could either be an author or a public speaker. And I always held on to that, like, still not thinking that I would be an author, but I was like, you know what, maybe he's on to something, because being a public speaker, you can get a lot of money for your speaking engagements, and for authors, you can get like royalties all the time. So I kept that in my mind, but never thought that I would actually be an author until 2018. No, until 2023. I believe it was like 2022. Sorry about that. It was 2022, and my husband and I sold our first home together, and we were transitioning into our house that we're in now. We were waiting for it to be built, so we were in this apartment. And I was asleep in December one night, and this strong voice, like, it was quiet and loud at the same time while I was asleep. And it was like, you're going to do a cookbook. It's going to be Tia Sweet Tooth Making Sweet Memories. Like, and I kept saying, okay, I hear it, I hear it, I hear it. But the voice was so loud and it would not stop. And it was like, write down everything you hear me say. Write it down. So I was like, okay. And I know it was God. I know it was God. So, I woke up and I was on my phone just typing all the chapters. Like, I even heard the chapters of this book. So this book is just so sentimental to me because Tia Sweet Tooth Making Sweet Memories came from God above. And oh, you know what was so sweet about this? I found my high school baking teacher, and she wrote the foreword for this book. So I love it so much. So it has inspiration in it. It has stories. It has recipes, pictures. I even have some of my classmates in some of the pictures where we were in high school making cookies and things like that. So that's how Tia Sweet Tooth Making Sweet Memories, the cookbook, came about. It came about in a dream, like a dream. And I'm just so happy that I listened to God and have it for you guys to share and have sweet memories of your own. Okay, so we're almost at the end. I have one section left, and it is what's next. So what's next with Tia Sweet Tooth? So I am a visionary. I am a dreamer. I dream all the time. My mind is constantly going. I'm always thinking about ways to elevate the company, the brand, myself. I have a lot of things in this brain up here, and some of it is not just like baking, but I have a lot of things that I want to see come to pass. And one of the things that I'm working on now, I can't tell you guys what it is, but just know I have a project that I'm working on that is good. Like, I think it's a good product, and you'll be able to experience it once it's here. That's what I'll say about that. But of course, I'll be doing more pop-up shops so people can know who I am. And my dream, y'all, is to have a bakery. Like, that's my dream, to even have a chain of them. And the details in that I can't say, because when you have like precious dreams and goals, you gotta protect it. You can't like say what it is because you don't know who's speaking against it or things like that. But just know, when the Lord bless me with Tia Sweet Tooth, it's going to be something you've never seen before. So that's all I can say about that. But what's next is me pursuing opening up my shop, hiring people. And y'all, I don't know if it's coming soon. Like, I don't know. But today was the first time somebody called me asking for employment. And I'm like, whoa, I'm just in my house. Like, I'm in my kitchen. I don't have a store yet, but that's a sign. Like, that's a sign that hey, it may come sooner than I think. So, but that's my main goal, to have Tia Sweet Tooth as a storefront where people can come in, eat their pastries, order custom cakes, and all that good stuff. So that's what I have currently going on. So I want to thank the community. I want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank the Sweet Tooth family for supporting me, for purchasing my books. And those books, you guys, are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. I even saw it on Walmart. So yeah. Oh, and I saw it on Apple. Is it called iBooks? Apple Books? I don't even know. But yeah, my books are available. Tia Sweet Tooth, Making Sweet Memories, and Cookies at Grandma's House, wherever you can buy books. You can also go on my website, tiasweettooth.com, and purchase the books there as well. And if you live in the DMV, you can order some cake jars too. Don't forget about those cake jars, y'all. Y'all can put them in the freezer now. Y'all can put them in the freezer, eat one now, eat one later. But I want to thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys like this video. And if you have any dreams, any goals, please put them down in the comments so that I can pray along with you and we can just win together. I need you guys to tell somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody to subscribe to Tia Sweet Tooth so we can be pushed out there even more, because the algorithm won't push my videos out if people aren't liking, subscribing, and commenting. But I thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.